With the holidays coming up, I'm sure a lot of people will be looking to getting a PlayStation 5, so I thought I'd make a long-term review since I've had mine for about 18 months now. Since its release in late 2020, the PS5 has received some updates in both hardware and software, including the unlocking of the SSD bay, new controllers and accessories, some UI improvements, and most recently 1440p resolution support. So if you're looking to get a PlayStation 5, hopefully this will give you an idea of what to expect. When it comes to games, there have been some great PlayStation exclusive games such as Gran Turismo 7, Ratchet & Clank, and of course Astro's Playroom. We've also had some PS4 games remastered or remade for the PlayStation 5 with better graphics such as Spider-Man and Miles Morales, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, and many more. What makes gaming on the PlayStation 5 so great is not only the graphics but how well they run. You can turn on your PS5 and be gaming within about 30 seconds. Games such as Spider-Man, which used to have very long loading times on the PS4, now load within a fraction of the time. The PS5 is capable of running 4K games at 120Hz, which is pretty impressive, although not all games support it at the moment. And if you play on a 1440p monitor such as myself, you're in luck because the PlayStation 5 got 1440p support in a recent update. I know that 4K gaming monitors can be very expensive, so it's nice to see that we can enjoy great graphics without having to spend the extra money. What's great about PlayStation 5 games is that the new ones keep getting even better as they're now designed specifically for the PS5 as opposed to the PS4. Now on to perhaps the most controversial aspect of this console, the design. When the PlayStation 5 first came out, I remember it receiving some criticism for its bland design and large size, but I actually like it. The PS5 can be set both vertically and horizontally by changing the support base. The support base has a very simple design and can be removed to change the orientation using a flathead screwdriver. I normally have it set vertically behind my PC, so I actually don't see it at all most of the time. Setting it horizontally also takes up a lot of space, so if you have it on a desk like mine, it is better to have it vertically. If you're planning on having it in a visible location and don't like the design, something you can do is replace the PlayStation 5 covers. There are some new official covers from Sony which are made to match the new DualSense controllers. The covers come in a wide variety of colors such as Cosmic Red, Midnight Black, and Galactic Purple. While the covers of the PS5 are matte, the centerpiece is glossy and prone to collecting scratches and dust. One of the big changes from the PS4 to the PS5 was the DualSense controller. It is bigger than the DualShock controller, but also feels a lot more comfortable. Going back to the DualShock controller after using the DualSense really makes it feel like a toy. In terms of functionality, the main improvement of the DualSense controller has to be haptic feedback. This comes in the form of vibrations that reflect what is going on in the game, as well as the adaptive triggers. Thanks to these features, playing games that include shooting or driving make them feel a lot more immersive. When I first got the PS5, my biggest complaint was that the 667GB storage of the digital version was not enough given that some new games take up more than 100GB. Thankfully, Sony recently unlocked the SSD bay, allowing us to add an additional internal SSD so we can increase the storage of our PS5. I added an additional 250GB M.2 SSD, and since then I have not run into any storage problems. The user interface was one of my favorite changes coming from the PlayStation 4, as it is very clean and very easy to navigate. It is divided into two primary sections, one for games and one for media. This makes it very easy to navigate between games or video apps depending on what you're currently using your console for. The Games tab shows you a list of your most recently played games, each with a full screen wallpaper as you hover on it, as well as a small PS5 or PS4 logo representing which version of the game is currently selected. If you're coming from an older generation console such as the PS4, something you will really like about the PS5 is how snappy everything feels. This is everything from the UI, to the games, to switching between menus, switching between parties in the middle of a game, and even switching between games is very quick. I really hope it continues to feel like this even as games start to become better and require more processing power. I tried a PS4 once since getting the PS5 and everything felt very sluggish. Sony really did a great job with the user experience on the PS5, and this alone makes it worth upgrading. There's also the PlayStation app, which is a pretty useful companion to your PS5. You can use it to message friends, see who's online, and even download games directly to your console. Sony recently announced a new VR headset for the PlayStation 5, and that should release sometime in early 2023. They also confirmed the headset will include some cool features such as eye tracking, headset feedback, and tracking of the controllers with a built-in camera. The future looks promising for PlayStation VR, so if VR is of interest to you, then the PlayStation 5 will be a future-proof choice. So far I have enjoyed my PlayStation 5 very much and would definitely recommend you get one if you can find that in stock. It is already a big improvement from the PS4, and we've only scratched the surface as there is much more to come as we start getting better games. Leave a like if you found this video helpful, and see you in the next one.